If you've ever had a food that felt completely safe and then suddenly it didn't, you're not imagining that. And you're definitely not alone in that experience either. Hi, I'm Dr. Jessica Bays. I'm a researcher in nutritional psychiatry, and I focus on how nutrition impacts mental health, particularly in autistic adults. In my recent videos, we've talked about why foods matter and how you might gently expand them. But there's another experience that comes up a lot, which is when safe foods suddenly stop feeling safe. And that can feel confusing, frustrating, and sometimes a bit unsettling. So, in this video, I want to talk about why this happens, what might be going on underneath, and how to navigate it in a way that feels supportive, not overwhelming. So, this can show up in different ways. You might notice a food you used to eat regularly suddenly feels off. The texture feels different, the taste feels too strong or not quite right, or the idea of eating it just doesn't feel manageable anymore. And often there isn't a clear reason why, which can make it feel even more frustrating, especially if that food was something you relied on. So, why does this happen? There are a few different factors that can be involved here. From a sensory perspective, how your brain processes texture, taste, and smell can shift over time. So, something that once felt predictable can start to feel less so. There's also the role of the nervous system. When your system is under more stress, it can become more sensitive overall, which means lower tolerance for certain textures, stronger reactions to smells or flavors, and less flexibility in what feels okay. From a nutritional psychiatry perspective, we also think about how stress, fatigue, and overall capacity influence eating and behavior. So, this isn't random. It's often your system responding to what's going on internally. This is especially common during periods of burnout. When energy is low, decision making becomes harder, sensory tolerance can decrease, and predictability becomes even more important. So, even small changes in a food can feel like too much. And foods that used to feel safe might no longer meet that need in the same way. That doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It means your capacity has shifted. If this is happening, one of the most helpful things can be reducing pressure rather than trying to fix the situation quickly. It can help to return to simpler foods, revisit previous safe options, or rotate between a few different choices. Sometimes it's also about adjusting expectations and allowing eating to look different for a while. Even small amounts of food still count, and consistency, however that looks, still matters. We also want to try to reduce panic and shame. When safe foods stop feeling safe, it can create a sense of panic. You might think, what am I going to eat now? Why is this happening? Or I've gone backwards. But this isn't a step backwards, it's a shift. And often these patterns can change again over time. So this isn't about losing something. It's about your system responding to what it needs right now. You don't need to have everything figured out straight away. You can approach this gradually, flexibly, and with self compassion. And it's okay if eating looks different for a while. That doesn't mean it will always feel this way. If this is something you've experienced, you're not alone in that. And it doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. I'd really value hearing your experience in the comments. Have your safe foods ever changed or stopped feeling safe? You might also find my other videos on safe foods and expanding foods helpful as well. And if you're interested in more evidence-based neuro-affirming approaches to nutrition and mental well-being, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.